All right, welcome back to Energy Boom 101. Behind me, Boom You. In front of me, Jeffrey. This is going to be dispatch from the patch 35 or 36. We don't know and we don't even care. But we are going to use this slogan. Exploring the echoes of existence through the prism of energy. That's a pretty good one. We want you to know, you can see behind you, Boom You was a recent recipient of a little Jack Frost, as well as a Bedlam victory. Nice shout out to the boys at Boom You for a well-fought, hard-fought Bedlam battle. And also a shout out to the boys at OSU for a well-fought, hard-fought Bedlam battle. We respect the dickens out of both colleges here in Oklahoma. That's why we tried in our previous episode to maybe play out the thought of Boom You and T-Boom You. I don't know how that's going to go over. But in Bedlam this year, Boom You was lucky enough to be victorious. And a shout out to OSU and all the people there for being a part of Oklahoma's culture and and enriching the Oklahoma energy rainbow and playing a hell of a good football game. And if T-Boom ever wants to come on the show, we'd love to have him on here with Alanis Morissette. But seriously, folks, we're going to go in, commence the backpedaling, my good man. This is patented, so don't even try it at home. And we're going to give you a little overview of, we want to talk a little bit about, this is going to sound crazy, but we want to talk about this ad that came out in the Wall Street Journal. It is just a beautiful full-page spread that was in Friday, November 29th's Wall Street Journal, and it's by Exxon Mobil, and I'm simply going to read it to you and explain why I think it has so much value. We're going to throw that word around because we don't even know what it means. So this is Exxon Mobil's full-page spread advertisement that came out Friday, November 29th, 2013, less than a week ago. And by the way, this came out a few days after it was announced that Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway had invested some $2 or $3 billion in Exxon Mobil. This is a wonderful ad in how it is written. Oh, the bells of Boom You. How glorious is this? We're going to discuss Exxon Mobil's ad with the bells of Boom You, providing the bubbling buzz that is in the background. Now, let's read through it. 2 billion people, 2 billion more people on the planet, 130% larger global economy, 40% better energy efficiency. Energy. We almost never see it, but it's essential to human progress. As the world's population grows and prosperity increases, energy needs are rising. The good news is we're using energy more efficiently every day, so much so that by 2040, even though the global economy will be about 130% larger than in 2010, energy demand will rise at a much lower rate. So we're consuming energy at a slower rate even though we're still consuming it. The real challenge is supplying the energy needed for progress while reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It's what 80,000 ExxonMobil employees work to achieve every day. Energy lives here. Okay, so that's sort of cute. This is really nice. This is amazingly simple in how ExxonMobil sees the next 10 years. And they tell you, which is probably why Mr. Buffett made this investment decision. The real challenge is supplying the energy needed for progress while reducing greenhouse gas emissions. If you agree with that, if you believe that, if you think ExxonMobil is going to pursue that, you may want to invest in them because that's exactly what they're going to do. And that's why they're such a great way to look at the red, white, and blue renaissance that's occurring. And as hokey as you may think it is in an advertisement, there's really a tremendous degree of honesty that you're going to see right here. I mean, really what you can say is here's the deal. ExxonMobil, forever, here's what they're going to do. They're going to try and meet the challenge of supplying energy needed for progress while reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It's a very, very simple way to look at what they're going to want to do for a long, long time, and it's really difficult to argue with that. But that would be a lovely show here on Energy Boom 101, would be if there's any professors at Boom U, if there's any professors at Boom U that would like to discuss this ad, whether they be business professors or philosophy professors, we'd love to have them on the show. And hell, we'd even pay them if we could, and we'd try and create some wealth that we're discussing here. That's what it's all about, chasing this crazy rainbow. So let's come up here and let you know that that's why I have included this ad in this gloriously ridiculous, absurd view of the United States energy. 1-2 approach to fighting global warming, I suspect. I'm sure they didn't want to use that word in there because they paid some ad agency $10 million to do all the vetting for what language would work out. Anyway, next time ExxonMobil wants anyone to brand them, let me know. We're slashing prices here at the Transparent Barrel for branding energy companies. We're slashing prices. But anyway, so this is a great way to look at what's going on in the U.S. energy boom, which we've discussed, and that's a great way to sort of see how it's rippling through the rest of the world, which we will now discuss, because you want to get a nice overview of how ExxonMobil in the United States and Oklahoma and Boom U and T-Boom U, which is OSU, are affecting the rest of the world. Keep this in mind, folks. The global energy rainbow right now has 3 big thoroughbreds running it. And it's Saudi Arabia, that's still, as best we can tell, is producing close to 12 million barrels a day. It's Russia, which is producing close to 11 million barrels per day, and is just recently pulled the Ukraine into Vladiput's pinky grip, and we can discuss that. And then you got the United States, which is surprising the hell out of everyone else, to such a degree that the next dispatch will read a glorious article in the Wall Street Journal from a gentleman who discusses why Saudi Arabia is on America's side. And that will be incredibly significant for how the global energy rainbow unfurls for probably the next 10 years. So it sounds like it's really good news from the headlines of the Wall Street. Haven't read it yet, but we'll get to that. So remember that. Every time we talk about the global energy rainbow, just keep the big picture in your mind. You got 3 big drivers of crude oil, which is going to shape the energy rainbow more than anything else for the next 10 years for sure, maybe 20, maybe 30, I don't know. No one knows. Who cares? Why are you watching this show? Then you also have a lot of regional activity that's going on around the globe. For example, Vladimir Putin is trying to sort of lock in European customers. And right now, the Ukraine is still, as we speak, to some degree or another, caught in a glorious struggle between the European Union, which is, I think they're in Brussels, which may be a city in Belgium, which may be a country. We don't know. And the European Union, which wants to bring the Ukraine into their fold, and Vladimir, which wants to basically bring the Ukraine back into his fold. And it's really sort of about the Ukraine needs money and they need energy, a lot of natural gas. And Russia needs money and they need customers. So and they want to continue their cultural movement. So they're wanting to bring the Ukraine back. The European Union wants to bring the Ukraine into their fold, and the people of the Ukraine want their own thing. So there's this great tug of war going on right now, and you can see it every day. And it'll be interesting to see if the current leadership in the Ukraine survive, because the people are pretty well rising up in the streets. Why? Because Ukraine decided to basically align itself with Vladimir, because he's probably offering them a hell of a lot more money. But Ukraine's young people probably don't want that. They want to be with the Eastern European, or not Eastern, they want to be with the European Union, but the EU's not giving Ukraine the same incentives that Vladimir is giving them right now. So it's just a glorious, gut-wrenching little constriction that's occurring in the eastern side of the global energy rainbow. Also, in this whole global energy rainbow, we have to follow Sir Tony. This guy's unbelievable. You remember him from BP. You remember the cocktail drink they mixed up in the Gulf of Mexico. We were going to trademark that reference to the BP spill as the cocktail because we thought it was so clever. But we're not going to do it. But anyway, this is very interesting. You need to make note that Vladimir Putin basically has the Ukraine, and there's a line right here, basically, through the stands, that it sure as hell appears to me that is being fought between Vladimir's interests and the rest of the world, basically, would be a nice way to put it. Their interests. And the man that seems to be appointed by the cosmic jester to run point in the stands is Sir Tony Hayward. And he's doing some amazing things, and we're going to do our best to keep up with him. He's working over activity in Somalia land, which is an area of Somalia. By the way, what's our time? 10 minutes. Wait, we got 5 minutes. Okay. He's in Somalia land, which is a region of Somalia that has all the frickin' oil, and he's publicly said that he's going to start at the Caspian marches sweet ass eastward through all the stands, all the way to Afghanistan. And his quote is basically, he thinks that people would much rather put down arms and do work and make money and buy BMWs instead of carrying around guns. It's an amazing approach. It's as simple as what we talk about with Exxon. Their basic approach is, we're going to bring the world's energy needs to them as we reduce gas house emissions. There it is, boom. There's their statement. With Sir Tony, it's basically he's going to liberate the stands from the Caspian Sea to Afghanistan by showing those people that they can make money by working in the oil fields and probably investing their own resources, which is an amazing approach. So we're going to follow him as best we can. He doesn't have a publicly traded company, I don't think, right now. And he has already done some work somewhere in Africa, which apparently was very successful. So he's now in Somalia. We'll try and keep up with him. But he's definitely going to get a chess piece. And then we're still trying to get updates on Greenland. They're relatively new, but what's going on there is fun as hell. Canada's there to mine the rubies to sell to China. The Scots are there looking for a new kind of Scotch and Islay play. We know, we're on to them. The Brits are there with Chinese labor to mine iron. The Aussies are there, backdoor, looking for rare earth minerals. Rare earth minerals are what's used in the modern day toys that we have, which right now is 90% controlled by the Chinese. So people want to sort of try and get some of that activity away. China themselves deserve their own, they really deserve their own TV show, to be quite honest, but we can't do that, so we're going to try and keep up with them through their 3 national oil companies, which just go nuts everywhere and are just, it's really pretty incredible. They're constantly sort of offering a new understanding to their zones. China, the latest is that they declared an error zone in the East China Sea, and it's being contested by the United States. At the same time that capitalistic dollars are just going back and forth because China is trying to buy their way into every energy interest they possibly can. God bless them. There's long been a contested islands in the South China Sea that China and quite a few other countries are involved in because there's enormous world resources beneath them. So that'll be something you'll hear about a lot. You're hearing about the East China Sea, you're hearing about the South China Sea, you're going to hear a lot about China because they're just going to be very aggressive about trying to establish energy resources. Everyone is. That's the name of the game. There's no way around it. That's the beauty of it. In the global energy rainbow, there's not a whole lot happening right now in Africa, but there probably will be. It's obviously politically very unstable and very challenging, but I'm pretty sure there's still enormous oil resources in Africa. And so it's probably flying under the radar. Saudi Arabia, of course, the kings, they control OPEC. OPEC's still #1 with their outlook. In South America, you know, we talked about Argentina and what's going on there with the new Christina Kirchner and her new outfit. You're going to hear more about that. You'll hear a lot about Venezuela. We're going to hear a lot about Mexico as they open up. The United States has its own map. Canada should have its own map. There'll be a basic Western alliance, I'm sure, that will form here. But that's basically it. And remember, all of this can basically come back and be connected to Oklahoma and Boom U, which will now sashay, and as we sashay, we'll pass Stewie's heads, which we've been told, amazingly enough, and you want to get a close-up on this, his horns can be tuned to B flat, if that's even a note. I just made that up. I don't know. Sashaying out. We missed the bells of Boom U, but we will say goodbye with a nice overview. We feel like we've got all 3 viewers, because I understand that another viewer is coming to the fold. We feel like we're doing a better job of getting you caught up with what the show's about, which is nothing. And what's happening in the United States energy boom, and what's happening around the globe, and how all of that can be tied right back here to lovely Boom U, and how Oklahoma for the next 10 years should really knock it out of the park as far as energy is concerned, and there should be a lot of wealth created. There's no doubt about it. We're in a boom. How long does it last? Who knows? Black grouse today was the drilling fluid. I have no complaints. I feel like it was another 500 barrel a day Mississippi lime output. And I think the next